I had the same beliefs like when I'm 80 as I have now, I'd be like, what have you been doing? Are you under a rock where, you haven't discovered something new, you haven't changed your mind? Like, it's just like being human. You have to do those things. Otherwise, you're just living such a closed off existence. I grew up in Brooklyn, Windsor Terrace. A lot of people don't know where that is. It's like below Park Slope, above Kensington, between Greenwood Cemetery and Prospect Park. Like this little chunk. Part of the reason why I have all these things that I feel so strongly about, because growing up, no one ever did anything half-assed. If you liked something, you liked everything about it and you made yourself an expert on it. So how would I describe myself? Adjectives kind of like, not bore me, but I think colorful is a good adjective. I like that one to describe me. Like, I'm always changing my hair. But in terms of like thinking of myself, thinking about what I am, I feel like I don't ever think about those things, if that makes sense. And also in terms of like my writing and the art that I make, I always hate writing artist statements because I think I love so many things, I'm passionate about so many things. It's really hard to narrow it down and call myself like, an artist inspired by fantasy. Even though I definitely am an artist inspired by fantasy. Whenever I say things like that, I'm always like, oh, but like, I'm also really into sci-fi and like historical fiction really has played a part in my life, So the way that I always tell people is that I've been writing before I could even write. I used to dictate stories to my dad. He would write them down. I think the first story that I dictated to him was about a duck. His wife has just had ducklings, so he goes out to get bread. And then he comes back and she's had more ducklings in the time that he was gone, so he goes out and he gets more bread. And he comes back and there's more ducklings, and he goes out to get more bread, and he comes back and there's even more ducklings. And he's like, yo, babe, what is good? Why do you keep having these ducklings? And she's just like, oh, you thought these were ours? No, I'm babysitting. I narrated this story to my dad and he wrote it down and I did the illustrations. And I've just always liked telling stories. My whole family tells stories. I get a lot of stuff from my family. My mom would always tell me bedtime stories. Like when she ran out of books to read me, she would tell me stories about herself growing up. We're a big story family. We always pass things down. We do exaggerate a little bit, but I feel like every good story has a little exaggeration. It's about finding that spark of, maybe it's not necessarily fact, but it's certainly true. I appreciated it. It was nice. It's nice having all of these stories. I feel like it feeds me, and that's why I like writing so much, because I can make these stories of my own. I settled on writing because I was like, I want to do this. I like stories. Being active in your community is the only way that you can change your community and that you can give back to your community. I very heavily believe you should leave the world a better place. I wanted the Creative Writing Club to happen. I wanted to do certain things with Gutter Mag. I wanted certain opportunities to be made available to students. I was talking about access to information earlier, about being a librarian, and I believe in that very deeply, and I think that that's part of the reason that I became a service ed, is because I wanted to be able to give other students that access to information. I think that if I stopped doing any of the stuff that I'm doing, I just wouldn't feel fulfilled. It's really easy to sort of, sit down somewhere and just be like, oh man, I wish there was a writers club. It really sucks there's not a writers club, and then not do anything about it. The campus was not meeting my needs as a student. I was not finding, the clubs and the people and things that I wanted. I kind of realized this in high school, but definitely in college. If I want to see these things and if I want these things to happen, no one's going to make it happen. I have to make it happen. Knowing how much other people care about what we've done and how much it's impacted other students' lives, and, there was a need and we met that need. We rose to that occasion. It makes me so proud of us and so happy. That feeling is why I do it, because I can I don't know, it's like seeing someone else and knowing that they're the same as you in some way. Stupid, cliche, but still, not stupid, but I want to do things that make me happy, that make me comfortable. And so I started getting more colorful things. I love dyeing my hair because it makes me happy. It's almost euphoric looking in the mirror and not recognizing myself because I have a new color, and seeing, oh shit, my hair's green now, and just being whoa, and just every roommate I've had has always sort of laughed at me a little bit, because I'll just be in front of the mirror just whoa, my hair is a different color, man. Do you see this? I dyed my hair. And they're like, yes, Muse, you do it every month. But it makes me so happy. because you forget about what you look like. If I see something and I like it, I want to wear it. I don't, when it comes to like dressing myself and my style, as long, and like, I guess just in general how I behave, as long as I'm not hurting anyone else, or as long as like I'm not like injuring like myself or others or being hateful, like I just want to like dress and act the way that makes me happy and the way that makes me comfortable and confident, not for fashion, not for anything. In terms of something that I want to accomplish, last year I sort of discovered printmaking for myself, and I realized that it was something that I really loved and I was really passionate about. I really just want to keep doing that. Like, it's not something that I want to stop doing. It's not a community that I want to sort of forget about. I really, really love printmaking. I didn't expect to find something that I was so passionate about towards like the end of my college career. It's something that I've gotten so much joy and fulfillment from. I loved Gutter. I, would go to the meetings, I would submit. I always liked how it looked. Of all the magazines on campus, like I TA for Italics Mine, and I've submitted to SubMag, and I know about the Phoenix, but like Gutter Mag, in my opinion, it's just the coolest looking magazine out there. Like, come on. Where else are you gonna find a magazine that publishes like your mom's texts? There are so many things that get passed over because they're not literary enough or scholarly enough, especially in an academic institution like this where there's certain level of intellectual superiority. Gutter just isn't like that. Like, if you want to publish like this cool thing that you thought of, but it's not necessarily like a literary poem or, a piece of great art, you can publish that in Gutter and still have it appreciated. Once again, it sort of goes back to finding like-minded people. Last year, when Trisha, the old editor-in-chief, offered me the position as managing editor, I was so excited. It just gave me even more of a chance to get to know this thing that I'd loved for so long. To be a part of it, to be behind the scenes, to sort of have a say in what we were doing and what we were making, being part of like a team and sharing these things with other people, it's just so much more fun and so exciting. I think that that's what Gutter really is, and when I became the editor-in-chief, that's why it was so important for me to really expand Gutter's outreach, because it means that I can publish something and meet a need that is not being met on campus. If I want to have some weird ass cryptid digital art in Gutter, I can have that and it'll be appreciated as art. It's really cool because it allows for mistakes, it allows for imperfections. Expand your mind about what you think about art, about writing, about what a magazine should or shouldn't publish, about what is worthy of publication. Gutter just amplifies that joy, I think. It creates this community. I always use the word weird because I just love that word. First of all, I think it just sounds good, like weird. Weird. Say it over and over again, like that W, that R in there next to the D. Ooh, I just think weird is just, it's such an encompassing term, and it's just so perfectly captures like what Gutter is. Gutter, that it's like stuff from the gutter, but just because it's from the gutter doesn't mean it's not like just like solid gold shit. Like great. People need to explore that stuff more. There's so much cool stuff out there. Take more walks. Go to more campus things. Like, you'll never know what you find. I think magic is like so cool and people discount it so often. But like, everything's magic. Are you kidding me?